Title: Diana, Part 1. Learning from adult role models who are deaf or hard of hearing. Presented by Outreach Programs, the Colorado School for the Deaf and the Blind. The CSDB logo is displayed with the tagline, Learning, Thriving, Leading. Our presenter, Diana, is seated on a carpeted step in a reading corner of a kindergarten classroom. She is communicating in sign language with voice narration. Captions are below on screen. Title: Diana.
Hi, my name is Diana Covell. I am deaf. My parents are deaf. Well, actually, I'm the third generation deaf. My parents are deaf. Also, my grandparents are deaf. And now my children are deaf. So it's generational. When I was born and raised, my family and I would all sign together. And back in that time, we did not use the word American Sign Language, ASL. Well, and really, we would just call it sign language. I did go to a deaf school in Maryland, School for the Deaf. When I was 5 years old, I attended. I was very excited. I wasn't scared at all because my parents had already prepared me for going there. So I knew what I was going to do for the week and all that stuff. I was just so excited to go. I was like, okay, you guys can leave. And then about 2 years after that, we decided to move to Colorado. So I was 7 years old and have been here ever since teaching. I never wore hearing aids except in middle school and high school. I would use a hearing aid just because I was wondering what all the other kids and friends were wearing hearing aids for. So I just thought I would. The teacher told me no, I couldn't because I'm deaf. But I said, no, so after a hearing test, I did in my left ear have an 85 decimal loss in my left ear. So I thought, oh, hearing aids, I'm going to be able to hear the things in my environment. I don't know if really speaking helped, but I mean, I just hear it. And then when I went into college, I stopped just because of all the people around me were signing. So I did remove my hearing aid at that time and never used it again.
Title: Growing Up Deaf.
So I guess for me, I thought we were normal and that hearing people were not because they didn't know how to sign. Come on. And then when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I realized that there was only a small group of us that actually signed and the rest were hearing. And so I look up to my parents as role models and look at what they did and how they would communicate, such as going to the doctor. I know my mom would write back and forth with the nurse, and they would have to read of what was taking place and try to have that conversation with the doctor. And so I would just learn from them because back then we had no interpreters. And even my neighbors did not sign at all. I mean, they learned a few just to be able to socialize with us, but mostly it was writing back and forth, and that was definitely a challenge. So there were so many things that when we came up to hearing people that we had to write, and they were absolutely shocked and didn't know what to do. What am I supposed to write? And, how to be able to get them even to talk with us was a challenge. But growing up, we'd try our best to socialize with different people, but I definitely looked up to my parents. Both of them graduated from college and really encouraged us as children to read. They gave us a ton of books, a ton of magazines. They would give us all those materials. They even took us traveling throughout America in a small little tent trailer, traveling all over. Truly enjoyed that. And the experience and learning from that truly helped me to understand the challenges that we can overcome. And it made me more independent. So I thank my parents for that. But now my advice to the parents out there, when they have deaf children, it's very important to sign with them and be able to communicate with their child. If it's reading with them, books are so essential because that's the exposure to the English language. Very important to be able to communicate and sign on different subjects, not just eating time, play, and bed. I mean, communicate on a variety of different topics, news, even pro football, all these different things that you can talk about and anything that you can talk about with your child so they can learn everything that's taking place. My parents, I know, did that with me, and I do the same with my 2 children. I have 2 when they were young, those 2 young children. Now they're a little bit older, they're 22, but we still talk every day of a variety of topics from books to budgeting to anything you can imagine. But it's very important to communicate.
Title: Education and Career.
I attended Gallaudet University. When I got into Gallaudet, I did stay there for 4 years, graduated with my degree in American Studies. From then, I decided to head straight to graduate school. I really wanted to become a teacher, so I did 2 years of graduate studies, and I've been teaching now ever since, which is 23 years of teaching in a variety of locations and a variety of subjects, from English all the way to science, social studies, what have you, throughout my moving around.
Title: Job Responsibilities.
Okay. I work as an ASL specialist here at Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. My specific duties, I have a wide variety of things, but the priority is to instruct elementary kids in American Sign Language and what American Sign Language entails. And the kids can learn then the American Sign Language and hope that they will then be able to better learn English. I also teach one-on-one with students that have just arrived at the school with possible limited science skills. Also instruct ASL to staff and to parents and talk about what ASL is. That is my job.
Title: Utilizing Technology.
Did you know that now technology is absolutely amazing and has transformed the lives of deaf individuals? Because technology now, even back then, communicating was difficult. Like I said, we had to use paper and pen and write back and forth. But now with video phones, we can talk with anyone. We don't have to write back and forth. We can just use sign over the phone. And we can even call out of state to individuals that live at a distance. It's just absolutely more and more people are using the video phone to be able to communicate. And maybe some parents would enjoy the video phone with their children as well, so they could socialize with people. And not only that, but with the relay service, you can relay information to hearing individuals, possibly your doctor's office, an insurance agent, or a variety of different people that you need to contact. And those interpreters speak for me while I sign, which is very comfortable for us. Back when we had to think about what the English word was and how to say it. But now we can just use sign language. With the technology, it has definitely transformed our lives and truly enjoyable.
Learning from adult role models who are deaf or hard of hearing has been a production of the Colorado School for the Deaf and the Blind, 33 North Institute Street, Colorado Springs, Colorado, 80903, 719-578-2100, www.csdb.org. Videography by Deb Branch and Sean Levier, copyright 2014.
Audio description, Jim Olson. Editing assistants, Diane Covington, Dr. Laura Douglas. Captioning, Neil Anthony Thomas, Corey McCormick. Transcription, Eleanor Vasquez.